central nervous system, that is blood supply to the brain. Blood supply to the brain. Before discussing about blood supply to the brain, now let us consider 100 ml of blood is produced because of one cardiac output. Now, how much percentage of this 100 ml blood is utilized for brain to supply the blood? Once again, if one cardiac output is produces 100 ml of blood, then how much amount of this 100 ml of blood is required for the brain to function normal? Now, out of 100 ml, 15% of blood, out of this 100 ml, 15% of blood is utilized by the brain for the blood supply. That is 15% means out of this 100 ml, 15% of the blood is utilized for the brain supply. First, let us start this blood supply to the brain from the basic point, from the heart. Let us consider this is a left atrium. This is a left atrium and this is a left ventricle, and this is a mitral valve, and there are several branches which are arising. Let us consider this is a cephalic trunk and this is carotid artery or carotid arch. And this is left subclavian vein. Once again, this is the left atrium and this is the left ventricle, and this is aortic arch through which the blood is flowing in this direction. And these are the branches of left ventricle, that is this is cephalic trunk and carotid artery and left subclavian vein. Now, if we discuss about the source of blood supply to the brain, there are two sources of blood supply to the brain. First source is through the carotid artery. First source of blood to the brain is carotid artery, and second is vertebrovascular artery. Once again, there are two sources of blood supply to the brain, that is first source is carotid artery and second source is vertebrovascular artery. Now, as we know that this carotid artery will be of two types. One is here, this is external and this is internal carotid artery, external carotid artery. Now, external carotid artery and internal carotid artery, but in these two, which is main source of blood to the brain is the internal carotid artery. This internal carotid artery is the main source of blood to the brain, whereas this external carotid artery cannot be much important when compared to this internal carotid artery. Now, second one is vertebrovascular artery. Now, before discussing about these two, carotid artery and vertebrovascular arteries, let us discuss first about this vertebrovascular arteries. And before discussing about this vertebrovascular arteries, let us discuss one vertebrae, that is cervical vertebrae. Let us consider this is one cervical vertebrae and this is foramen, and these two structures are called transverse process. These two are the transverse process and these are the foramens. Now from these foramens the arteries will be going from lower side to the upper side. In this way, from these foramens of transverse process, the arteries will be going from lower side to the upper side. Now, this is a cervical vertebrae. Here, the upper side of the cervical vertebrae, there will be brain present on it, that is forebrain, midbrain, hindbrain. Now, from here, the arteries are going from lower side to the upper side. Now, my question is, as I told that these these arteries are going from downside to upside. Where does this all the arteries will be collected? The answer is, let us consider. Let us consider this is the central nervous system, and the layer which is present inner to this is pia mater. This innermost layer is pia mater, and the layer which is present next to this pia mater is arachnoid layer. This arachnoid layer is filled with cerebrospinal fluid. It is filled with cerebrospinal fluid, and outer side of this arachnoid membrane, the outermost layer is dura mater. This is the outermost layer, that is dura mater. Now, the space which is present between the dura mater and arachnoid layer is subdural mater, and the space which is present between arachnoid membrane and pia mater is subarachnoid space. Now, this subarachnoid space is filled with cerebrospinal fluid. Now, these arteries are coming from in the lower side to the upper side, that is into the brain, that is central nervous system, and this is cerebrum. And where does this arteries will be located in this central nervous system? The first choice is on the outer layer, that is dura mater. Second choice is in the cerebrospinal fluid, and third choice is on the inner layer, that is pia mater, or fourth choice is in this white matter. Now, the answer will be these arteries which are going towards the upper side, that is into the central nervous system, will not be accumulated in this area, that is dura mater, and will not be located in this inner layer pia mater, and will not be located in this area, that is white matter. Now, the answer will be the arteries which are going from inner side to the upper side will be located in the cerebrospinal fluid. Now the arteries will be floating in this cerebrospinal fluid. So the arteries which are going from lower side to the upper side, that is central nervous system, will be accumulated or will be present or will be located or will be situated in the cerebrospinal fluid. This is about what basics of vertebrovascular arteries. Now, if we discuss in detail about these vertebrovascular arteries, that is vertebrovascular arteries. Let us draw a basic diagram for it. As we know that this is the big brain and this is pons and this is medulla, and our aim is vertebrovascular arteries, vertebrovascular pathway. Now let us assume these are the vertebral arteries. These two are the vertebral arteries, and these are present on outer external side of this central nervous system. This is spinal cord. Now these vertebral arteries, whenever it reaches the medullary junction and whenever it reaches the medulla point, it will be entered into the central nervous system. Here these vertebral arteries will be entered inner side of this medulla. Now there is a special junction This junction is called pontomedullary junction. Pontomedullary junction, where these pons feroli and medulla oblongata will be situated together. That is, junction is called pontomedullary junction. Now, whenever these two vertebral arteries will be entered in and tears these three layers of this central nervous system and will be entered into the medulla. Now, these two will be reaches the pontomedullary junction. Now, these two vertebral arteries, whenever it will be reached the pontomedullary junction, now these two different types of arteries will be joined together and results in formation of which produces one special unique artery. This special unique artery is called vesicular artery. Vesicular artery. Now, whenever this vesicular artery is near to this midbrain, this vesicular artery will be cleaved into left and right arteries. Once again, these vertebral arteries, when it is reaches the medulla, it will be entered at the inner side of this central nervous system, and there will be, when these two vertebral arteries will enter into this pontomedullary junction, it will be combining together and forms specialized artery, that is vesicular artery. Now this vesicular artery, when it reaches the midbrain, it will be branched into two branches. One is left branch and other one is right branch. Now these branches will be gone around the midbrain and will be reached the cerebrum. These two special type of arteries are called posterior cerebral arteries. Posterior cerebral artery. This is called posterior cerebral artery. Now, one more point, that is important point, as we told that these vertebral arteries will be joining at the medulla and will be going towards upside. Now, some part of these vertebral arteries will be moving downside. Now, from this junction of vertebral arteries, some amount of these arteries will be coming towards the lower side, that is towards the spinal cord. Now, this special type of arteries are called as anterior spinal arteries. That is anterior spinal artery. Now, this is anterior spinal artery. Now, this is pontomedullary junction. Whenever these vertebral arteries will be reached this pontomedullary junction, it results in formation of this this vesicular artery, and there is one more structure. This is cerebellum. This is the cerebellum, and whenever these vertebral arteries will be reached this pontomedullary junction, it results in formation of one specialized artery. Now, this specialized artery which is going towards on lateral sides of this cerebellum is called posterior inferior cerebellar artery. Posterior inferior cerebellar artery, which is going towards the posterior side of this cerebellum and inferior side of the cerebellum, and just above this, that is at the anterior part of this pontomedullary junction, there is one more type of artery will be arised. Now, this special type of artery which is going around the cerebellum is called inferior cerebellar artery. inferior cerebellar artery. Totally these are arteries which are produced here. Now these are the two structures which are present on the lower side of this midbrain, and these 2 points will form third cranial nerve, that is oculomotor nerve. That is oculomotor nerve. And from the middle side of this pontomedullary junction, there is one more artery which is going towards the larger distance. Now the arteries which are produced from the middle portion of this pontomedullary junction will travel to long distance and will be enter into the right ear, and it will be entered into the left ear. These two arteries will be responsible for the supply of blood into the ears, that is which arises from the middle portion of this pontomedullary junction. Now coming to this spinal cord, these are the vertebral arteries, and there are several segments in these arteries which are coming towards the, so these are the arteries, anterior spinal arteries which are coming towards the spinal cord. It is divided into several segments. Now these segments are classified into three groups, three divisions. Let us consider these three are the arteries which are transferring its blood towards the towards the cervix. So these arteries are called deep cervical arteries. Deep cervical artery, first one. And this next type of arteries which are producing or which are transferring its blood towards the thorax, these are called thorax arteries, thoracic artery. And there is last type of arteries which are producing or which are transferring its blood to the abdomen, and these are called abdominal arteries. These are abdominal arteries, and there is one more artery which is producing from the anterior part of this, that is anterior part of this midbrain, which goes around the anterior side of this cerebral hemisphere. Which is going towards the anterior side of cerebral hemisphere. These are called anterior cerebral arteries. These are the different types of arteries which are related to vertebrovascular arteries. This is first type, and second type is carotid pathway.